Coming at you early here today, getting you on the right side of the MLB betting card tonight. That's what we do each and every day here on First Pitch, powered by WagerTalk TV. And joining me, we got a great crew. I'm your host, Dan Alexander, and I got Tokyo Brandon, Bryan Leonard, and Steve Merril in the house. We're all wiping the sleep out of our eyes to get these folks some winners, boys. So let's get into it and start off with my man, Tokyo Brandon. He is all about the Mariners and the Astros today. He's got two bets for you, both of them coming on the mound. So let's start with the team that actually won the game last night. We got Bryce Miller on the mound for the Mariners. How are you looking to bet him today, Tokyo?
Yeah, the Mariners are one of the worst teams in the last 2 weeks. They really were on the schneid, and they finally got off the schneid yesterday. So Bryce Miller's on the mound today against the Astros. And this is a prop bet, strikeouts prop bet. And his strikeout prop was at 5.5, and just seems really high. When you look at these numbers, you look at 5.5, it doesn't seem like high, like it's very high. But when you realize he has to get 6 to get the over, it is quite high actually, especially when Bryce Miller is a 7.5 K per 9 guy. So just do the straight math. If he strikes out 7.5 guys per 9 innings, and he's probably going to pitch 5 or 6 innings, how many strikeouts does that equal? Doesn't equal 6, I can tell you that. And the Houston Astros, how much of a strikeout team are the Houston Astros? Well, in the last 30 days, they're striking out 8 per 9 innings. 8.08. We'll just call it 8. So my rough calculation, Bryce Miller in his last 5 starts is going about 58% of the games, which is a little more than 5 innings. So, the calculation comes to about 4.5. So I don't think he's going to get to 6 strikeouts here. Matter of fact, he's played the Astros 2 times this season already, and in neither one did he get 6 Ks. He did get 5 Ks in one of them, but he has not gotten 6 in either of them. We're winding down in the season. Managers are not going to work their pitchers to the bone right now. So the chances that he goes 6, 7, 8 innings is highly unlikely. He might get into the 6th inning. I doubt he'll finish it. So he's only struck out 6 Astros in 28 at-bats this season, or in his career. And this season, he hasn't reached 6 in 2 games against them. I'm taking the under 5.5 strikeouts with Bryce Miller today in the Seattle Mariners-Houston Astros game.
Starting off with the pitcher prop going under the 5.5 Ks. That's Tokyo Brandon. Check him out at WagerTalk.com. But don't leave yet. Make sure you hit that like button and hit subscribe and hop in the comments below. Let us know what you're eyeing, what big game breakdown is on your card tonight. We'll find out what's on Bryan Leonard's card as we take a look at the Yankees and Toronto. Yankees get it done late last night, make it 2 straight against the Blue Jays, who kind of need these wins a lot more than the Yankees, yet they're not coming. Bryan, how are we betting this one?
Yeah, you said it. A lot of these teams that need the victories don't actually get them, and that's because the other teams want to win too. Just because you need to win doesn't mean you're going to win, and we saw that many times yesterday. Gerrit Cole, the favorite for the American League Cy Young Award, makes his final start of the season today. He brings in an excellent 1.02 WHIP, 2.75 ERA. Take a look at his advanced stats, and they show he's been a bit lucky this season. He's pitching above his head, but with 200 innings in, and you got to respect the great year he has had. Despite being 33 years old, his fastball velocity still ranks in the 90th percentile. While his strikeouts are down this season, so are his walks, and that's a nice trade-off. I think just about any pitcher will give that a try. Even more impressive is his 7.5 barrel percentage, which is at least 1.91 the last 3 seasons. So while a 7.5 barrel percentage isn't great, it's pretty good for Cole, because if you follow Cole over the years, it usually takes the home run ball to get to him. And this year it's down, and that's why he is having that great season. And he's really taking it. He's one of these guys that's hitting it going down. If you're in horse racing, he's really whipping himself going down the track this year, as he's got a 1.59 ERA the last month. So he's determined to grab this hardware. His opponent today, Jose Barrios, has had a nice bounce back season. You can remember last year, His WHIP was 1.42 and his ERA was a whopping 5.23. This year, he's reduced those numbers to 1.18 and 3.58, but like his mound opponent, he's been a bit lucky when looking at the advanced stats. After tossing 172 innings last year, this year he's already at a 183.2 heading into this contest, and over the last month, his ERA sits at 4.3, so he may be tiring as the end of the year comes up here, and if Toronto does make the playoffs, that's something to keep in mind. While we've talked about before, while Toronto needs this game more than the Yankees, it's rare you find Gerrit Cole in this price range. I'm leaning with the visitor in this one, so I'm going to play the Yankees.
Playing the Yankees. I love it. Zigging when the others are zagging. That's the Bryan Leonard way. You might just be hearing about another one coming up in Best Bet. You'll have to stay tuned to find out. All right, Steve, you're going to get the final word, and appreciate you coming on because the Phillies clubhouse probably smells more like a frat house after they clinched yesterday. And the champagne, the beers, they were flying for a wild card clinch. So that could be debated. But what can't be debated is how we're going to be betting this game. Is it the prime letdown spot here in game 2? How are you looking to bet it?
Yeah, Dan, I appreciate you coming on because I know you were up partying all night with your Phillies with the champagne as they clinched the top wild card seed. I was up all night. I waited till after midnight Eastern so I could celebrate Google's 25th birthday. Isn't that crazy? 25 years old today. You're going to see that pop up every time you open your browser, as I have numerous times already this morning. But I do think it's a letdown spot. And this was a team that's now won 6 straight games. They've been red hot, hottest team in baseball probably the last week or so, winning 7 of their last 9, actually, is what it is. 6 in a row, 7 of their last 9. But they don't need to win no more because not only did they clinch a playoff spot, as you mentioned, they've clinched the top wild card spot. They cannot change anything at this point. They are going to host the wild card game starting next Tuesday. So these final games against the Pirates and then 3 against the Mets have no meaning whatsoever. So yes, it does seem simple. It does seem obvious, and it's priced into the line. But this is baseball. All we got to do is pick the winner, and we're still getting the Pirates at plus money as around even to plus 110 to plus 105 is probably with the consensus right now. So yes, I think it's a great spot to fade the Phillies here. They have nothing to play for. They were up partying last night. They got the big extra inning win, by the way, 3-2 in extra innings to clinch that wild card. I also think the under is worth a look for that same reason. And as of Wednesday morning, we are starting to see this line shift towards under 8. It was flat overnight. Now it's under 8 minus 120 at some sharp books. So let's not overthink it. Pirates at an underdog price and the under. And oh, by the way, Pittsburgh's in pretty good current form. They'd won 4 of their previous 5 until that tough one-run loss last night. And both teams only had 5 hits. So I like the Pirates and I like the under. And your Phillies have much bigger games on deck starting next week.
I can't disagree with the breakdown, and it's anecdotal. I asked Ralph Michaels to crunch those numbers about how teams do after they clinch games. Unfortunately, the database can't do it, so we'll just have to keep saying these dudes are hungover. Come on now, let's be real. I'm right there with you, Steve. That was a bet that I added last night once the lines opened. It's just a spot that it almost feels like a free roll on one of those. So, all right, guys, let's talk a little best bets here. Brandon, let's swing it back on up. You love this M's and Astros game, so you talked Miller. Now we'll talk Framber Valdez. How are you looking to bet?
Yeah, I loved Brian's breakdown of the Yankees game. I have a big play in that game today. You can get it at my page at WagerTalk.com. I have actually a 2 Major League game 2-game package there. So go to my page and grab that. Number 1 the last 7 days, number 1 the last 30 days in MLB profits. So rolling well, but we're going back to the Astros and the Seattle Mariners. And Framber Valdez is on the mound for the Astros. So I went with one pitcher on an under. I'm going to go the over on this pitcher, but it's not for strikeouts. It's for outs recorded. A lot of people are asking me recently because my props on outs recorded are winning so much. They're saying, how do you calculate outs recorded? What is outs recorded? It's very simple. You just take innings times 3. So if the pitcher goes 5 innings, it's 15 outs recorded. If he goes 6 innings, it's 18 outs recorded. So it's a pretty simple calculation. So when I do these props, I calculate 2 things. Mainly how deep does the pitcher go on average, and how is this team lineup holding starting pitchers under or over their outs recorded average. And it's quite interesting because since I started doing this, you find out that pitchers, my over 17.5 projections are winning more than anything else. They're actually winning at a 63.6 rate, which is quite amazing. So let me get into exactly what that means. So today, Framber Valdez on DraftKings, his outs recorded prop is 17.5 over under. What does that mean? Well, it means since 18 outs is 6 innings, it means will he finish 6 innings of this game? Yes or no? So if you just break it down, he's averaging 19.3 outs, which means he's averaging 1 out into the 7th inning in the last I do it last 6 weeks. So he's averaging 19.3 outs. So who's he going against? He's going against the Seattle Mariners. The Seattle Mariners actually bring starting pitchers' outs recorded down about 0.6, so about a half out. They're chopping off starting pitchers' averages in the last month. So they have a good lineup. However, Valdez he has to finish 6 innings to get the over on this. And he has finished 6 innings in 8 of his last 10 starts. And I have a projection that is 18.6 outs here, which is 1.1 over the book. So my Valdez projections on the season for overs, I've had nine times I've had a projection, and there's 7 wins and 2 losses. So I'm taking the Framber Valdez over 17.5 outs recorded in this one. I think it'll hit. My projections on Valdez are winning 77.8%, and my over 17.5s are winning 63.6%. So I'm all over the Valdez over 17.5.
Looking towards the over 17.5. Also love the breakdown on how those are calculated from our man Tokyo Brandon. Check him out at wt.buzz/TB, and hop below in the comments and let us know if you have any player props that you're eyeing tonight. Haven't been seeing many people talking about the home run props. I know it's a negative EV wager, but they're fun. If you have any that you're betting tonight, hop below in the comments and let us know. All right, Bri, let's talk a little Texas Rangers and LA Angels. It's looking like the Rangers are decent money line favorites here. So you agree with that, or are we going to have one of the patented Bryan Leonard dog whisperer spots? How are we betting this one?
Yeah, underdogs have been very good to me this year in baseball, very good in hockey. I love playing the underdogs, and I think we got a nice one here. In all honesty, we've been fading Dane Dunning all season long with little success. He's been outdoing his numbers all season long. His ERA is 3.88, yet his advanced numbers show a 4.47 xFIP, 4.65 Sierra. So that expected reversal of fortune has finally reared its ugly head in the last month. He's got a 6.98 ERA. Finally, we're starting to see some of that, and our clients are happy because I think they're tired of me trying to fade him. But I'm coming right back and doing it now. We're finally seeing it with a 6.98 ERA over the last month. When you take a look at his Tough Plus numbers, he comes in at 84, while his mound counterpart is at 95. So while he's had a good season, he's a guy I'm looking to fade. And in fact, next year, I think he's going to be a good fade candidate. We talked off air about the Minnesota Vikings in the NFL. I think this is a guy that we can go against next year in Major League Baseball. The season-to-date numbers for Griffin Canning aren't overly impressive, with a 1.24 WHIP and a 4.39 ERA. But if you take a look at his advanced numbers, his xFIP is 3.78, his Sierra is 3.85, and opposed to his mound opponent today, over the last month, he's got a nice 3.68 ERA. The Rangers are fighting to hold on to the divisional title with Houston and Seattle right on the tail. But just because a team has something to play for doesn't mean you should be betting on them. We work hard for our money, and we want to make the best bets as possible. Just ask the Houston Astros about the Kansas City Royals. The Royals really took it to the Astros in the last couple of weeks, and that may be the reason why the Astros don't make the playoffs. So it'll be an interesting turnaround for Houston, a team who comes into the season just about every year as the favorite in the American League. But take a look at what the Angels did yesterday. They dominated this game 9-3. You take a look at what some of these teams have done down the stretch. The Angels, the Royals, the Tigers, and Yankees, they've all been very profitable spoilers the last 2 weeks, especially for ourselves. The Angels and the Royals have been great, with big money makers. We're coming right back with the Angels again tonight. This is a team that all their stars are out of the lineup, but that's good. All the young players want to come out and play. What you don't want is a team that has a lot of veterans on it. They were expecting to go to the playoffs and they could just mail it in the last week. We want the young players out there with some hunger, and that's what we get here for the Angels. So we'll take the Angels at a really nice number with the better pitcher on the mound here playing at home.
Yeah, really nice number indeed. Looking like the consensus on the live odds screen at wagertalk.com, sitting around plus 135. So, we love some of those late night dogs as they're barking. All right, Steve, you also have a late night game that you're looking towards. That's the Padres and the Giants. So we've been betting all day. We got 2 back-to-back nightcap bets from our guys here. How are we betting this one to end the night?
Yeah, these are two teams, Giants 78-79, Padres 77-80, that have about 1,000 to 1 chance either one of them of making the wild card. They basically have to win out and hope the Marlins and Reds lose out here the rest of the week. So these two teams are done. But the difference is that one of these teams has been done for weeks, if not a month. The other one just became well done on the grill this past week. In fact, the one that I thought really did the Giants in was that Sunday night loss. They were already up against it in LA, and they end up losing in extra innings 3-2 Sunday night. Then they had to travel with no rest back home after the extended road trip. Historically, what's a really bad spot Monday, yet they won the game 2-1 Monday against the Padres. So was that the buy sign? No, it was not the buy sign. It's what we call a fortunate win because they were actually out hit in that game 9-7. So they're not playing better all of a sudden. We saw them now lose again last night on Tuesday. This is a Giants team that's now lost 6 of their last 8, and they've lost 8 of their last 11 overall, and that was with the playoffs on the line. Sure, maybe they play relaxed ball now. I don't think it happens that way, but the team that has been playing relaxed ball has been the team that's been the biggest money burner in baseball the last couple of years. It's now been the most profitable team in baseball the last couple of weeks, and that's the San Diego Padres. Excellent current form. They'd won 9 out of 10 until that loss Monday, but as I mentioned, they got right back on track. If they've now won 10 of their last 12. So these are definitely two teams that might only be a half a game apart over 150 some games, but they're heading in exact opposite directions. And best of all, we get the better team, the hotter team right now, the San Diego Padres, at a pick-em price. So we're not going to overthink this one. Offensively, in much better current form. Giants have single-digit hits now in 8 straight games. As I mentioned, they've lost 6 of those 8. Meanwhile, San Diego's hitting the ball pretty well. Not great last night, but they've had 8 hits or more now, and 6 of their last 8. They've had double-digit hits in half those games. Padres, they've been playing loose and it's been working. They continue it tonight on Wednesday, rather, after that win last night on Tuesday. So take a look at the San Diego Padres minus 105, and that is a late game tonight on Wednesday at 9:45 Eastern on the West Coast. And don't forget, if you'd like to get the rest of the year, college and pro football, baseball, and college and pro basketball, you can do so right now for just over $7 a day. It's a fantastic all sports special, and there is no promo code needed. If you want football only, it's just over $5 a day. All sports is over $7 a day. Both available. Full details on my page right now. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com.
Padres over the Giants for Steve. The Angels over the Rangers for Bryan Leonard. And Tokyo Brandon going with the pitcher prop. Framber Valdez over the 17.5 outs recorded. That's the best bets for the guys here. Hop below in the comments and let us know your best bet for tonight. We love seeing it. Love chopping it up with you in the chat. So hop below in the comments. We love to see it. And while you're down there, hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed. Steve's going to be on Wager Talk today. You can catch all of these guys breaking down some college football. Check out Tokyo Brandon as well at his page for some Asian baseball plays. And more reason than ever, hit that little bell and be subscribed here to Wager Talk TV so you can get all the tools you need to bet all the sports you love only a click away.